All right, so we have an update in the Paramount Warner Brothers merger antitrust trial situation.
That's a mouthful.
we talked the other day. About David Ellison put out the op-ed saying that he's not gonna gut CNN. He would like to rehabilitate CNN, but he also admits that this is all about CNN. We said before they're going to try to stall things out as long as they can, not only to get past the elections this fall, but also just to make him pay as much as possible. Now it looks like the judge is setting this antitrust trial for March. You said it's like right up against the deadline.
Yeah, I think it's only like a couple days before the deadline was for the original deal to end. And they need to get one extension that could go to June. But they've already said that this trial is going to take like 12 days. So clearly they're already going to be past the deadline for the deal to close. They're going to have to be forced to take their extension. And this is also going to force them to pay that ticker, the extra money to the investors because it's going to go past October 1st.
Yeah, so this is all about, I'll tell you what this is about. This is about punishing David Ellison. That's what this is about, making him pay as much. Now, Gavin Newsom actually came out, and they're calling him MAGA over on Blue Sky. We covered that too, but Gavin Newsom actually came out and said that he thinks the Attorney General should just settle and get it over with. At this point, like if they're giving Ellison as hard, because this is inevitable, this is going to happen, I think. I don't know who else is going to buy Warner Brothers at this point. I mean, he might try to back out. I don't know. But if this happens and they make it as hard as possible for him, and this is absolutely the California Attorney General acting independently of Gavin Newsom, he might just pull the whole company out of the state, just out of spite. Be like,
and I think that's what they're afraid of. I mean, not just that, but like I said, if Warner Brothers Discovery goes under, they're going to lose all that tax money. Paramount leaves, they're going to lose all that tax money. And it's funny to me because they're going on, they're going to be like, yay, this is a win, this is a win. And I'm like, I thought you said you were concerned about cost to consumers, because if they're going to be dragging this out and it's going to cost them a lot more money, it's going to mean that things that they're going to have to make money from somewhere. So they might either cancel projects, which means less jobs. They might have to, pay less. They might have to raise prices on streaming and things like that to offset these costs. So everything that you're complaining about, you might just be causing by pushing it to this point.
Yeah, because at that point, I would be, if I were in his position, this is me and being a vindictive son of a bitch, but I would be like, you're not going to play ball. You're going to make things as difficult for me as possible. And this is just the beginning. Do I want to put up with decades of fighting the state of California just to do business, or should I just cut my losses and go someplace else?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what people think they're going to do. And they can't. The expense is ridiculous. And why sit there and have to keep giving money to the state of California if they actively hate you? Why make sure these people have jobs if they actively hate you?
It's just like all the YouTubers say. It's like, don't give money to people who hate you. Yeah. But that's pretty much it, right? Because he would be given all the tax money and the job. Yeah. So this is coming from Deadline. A federal judge has set the Paramount Warner Brothers Discovery merger trial for next March. The date is closer to the timeline sought by state attorneys general and the Writers Guild of America, who sued to block the transaction rather than a trial start favored by Paramount this fall. And again, the judge, who was, I believe, appointed by Biden.
Yes, and that wasn't the original judge. They petitioned to get the original judge removed, and this was the alternative they preferred.
This was the better one?
Yeah, this is their better choice. It's California.
Yeah, they wrote that the trial will take place from March 2nd to March 19th of next year. Paramount had sought a November trial start. The state AGs and the WGA proposed April. The judge wrote that the trial will run from 8:30 to 1:30 with two 15-minute breaks. It's going to be dark on March 8th through the March 8th and the 15th. Paramount spokesperson said in a statement, "We respect the court's decision and continue to believe a trial on the merits is the best and most direct way for us to prove what we've said from the start. This transaction is lawful, pro-competitive, and raises no antitrust concerns. The lawsuit against us has no basis in fact, economics, or antitrust law." No, it's just petty vindictive shit. And also CNN. "We will continue to vigorously defend the transaction and remain committed to closing as soon as possible so it benefits the creative community and consumers, and it can be realized." California Attorney General Rob Bonta, who's leading 11 other state AGs in challenging the merger, did not comment. Well, yeah, because Gavin Newsom slapped him down.
Yeah, he's
Newsom's
we
like,
need to
just
wrap this up
settle.
because he
Yeah.
knows this is going to be a problem. Like if you're like saying, "Oh, them doing this isn't going to cause any damage to California," but the Ellisons are going to cause damage. The governor, who's very 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 far left and ridiculous and a lot of things he pushes, is even like, you need to knock this off because he knows it's going to bite them in the ass.
Yeah, it's crazy though. So the date of the trial is hugely important for Paramount, which will be on the hook to pay Warner Brothers $7 million every day that the transaction doesn't close after September 30th. So that is like a weekend of Supergirl.
Yeah,
every day. Okay, that's just a box office of Supergirls of that.
But if that money is gone and it's going out to do that, then they're going to have to offset it somehow.
Job losses.
That's what I'm saying. There's going to be more cuts. They're going to cut, projects. They're going to cancel things they greenlit. They're going to have to get rid of people. They're going to have to raise prices on consumers. So literally everything that you say you're suing over or you're trying to get an injunction about, you're going to create because of this. And then at the end, if they lose Warner Brothers is going to fold and then you're going to be doubly screwed. But hey, CNN, stick it to Trump or whatever.
That's this bad. Well, okay, so this too. They said, among other things, in the filing last week, Paramount warned that a trial next spring would require them to refile their merger materials with the Justice Department, which already cleared the transaction because the waiting period expires on February 19th.
Oh, so and conveniently the trial isn't set until. So this sounds to me like, in my opinion, the judge themselves is trying to stop it. Like their buddies are in Hollywood and they're like, oh, we need to, and they're, because why? When you could have done it sooner, why wait clear to then? And right before the deal cuts off, so you have to use your one extension, which then they'll find another reason to stall it to that extension. You're going to fuck around and find out is what you're going to do in Hollywood. Netflix, you didn't like Netflix, you don't like Paramount. Warner Brothers Discovery on their own is not going to happen. No, they can't do it.
They can't do it. What's going to happen is if they make it as hard as possible, or what he'll do if they push this thing through, and I think it will go through unless he decides he wants out. Like, okay, that's it. I'm out of this. I don't want to do it. Is he'll say, well, we have to save money, so we're moving all to like Nevada or something. We're going to move the studios over there because we lost so much money.
You don't want to come, then you stay there. And
you can have your job
cheaper. He was, and before this, he was going out there trying to find ways to lobby for more money for Hollywood to keep more filming in Hollywood, because instead of sending it, because all this is going to result in is more stuff being sent overseas. I think it's funny that Cumberbatch and crew were over there being like, we got to stop this deal because it's going to hurt our jobs in the UK. It's like, well, those jobs shouldn't be in the UK to begin with. They should be in Hollywood.
Well, guess who's never playing Khan again?
Yeah, well, I don't think anybody wanted to see. I don't think anybody wanted to see him doing it.
Yeah, remember Ellison? Yeah, remember when they kept trying to deny he was Khan? Everybody's like, he's totally Khan. No, he's not Khan. You chuds, you're lying. You're making shit up.
I love that shower scene that he did as a joke or whatever. That he was just like staring at the wall and there was water. It was a clip. It was a joke. I think it was a clip from the movie. Supposedly he said on one of these shows, and it was just him staring at the wall like angrily as water poured over him.
Oh yeah,
it was funny. I'm pretty sure it was a joke, but it was funny.
This whole thing is a farce. I mean, this is basically they want to control things. They want things to stay the same. Look, what boils down to is they want things to stay the same. They want the money to keep flowing, the tax money to keep flowing. Even Newsom is like, this is not realistic. This is a waste of time. And I think, again, knowing the Ellisons, how they operate, just to be like, well, fuck you. He probably would move it if this drags out.
I don't think he wants to, because
I don't think he wants to. He said he doesn't.
Right. Well, he's been there for a while, but I think that if he might have you guys are forcing his hand to do so, and they're probably all cheering, and I'm like, you guys, it's going to bite you in the ass. Yep.
This person said, anonymous said, if the judge issued a temporary restraining order pausing the merger, why doesn't that pause the ticking fee too?
That's a good point.
These comments are beyond unhinged. It's like one guy fighting with himself. This person says the layoffs were going to be bad, but now they're going to be wild. Well done, AGs.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Common sense is in the comments.
This person, another anonymous, David, is that you? You mean when this deal goes through? Yes. Yeah.
No, when this deal goes through. You guys are so stupid. Would you stop sniffing each other's farts in Hollywood and pull your heads out of your own asses and then, look around and realize the situation? You're already in trouble because you did it to yourselves. You totally screwed yourselves over with the strikes and all that idiocy. And now it's already desperate enough that you took whatever deal they were offering you right off the bat at a 4-year contract because you were afraid you'd lose everything. And now you're like going to try to tank this too, and you're cheering for it. You are cheering for your own demise. Like, I can't imagine how stupid you people are. Does it hurt to think?
This person, another anonymous, says the AGs just chased 30% of the market share out of California. Yeah, that's what I think would happen. I mean, again, if it were me, I'd be like, fuck you. We tried to be nice. He actually put a whole big thing in the New York Times saying, I love California. I grew up in California. I want to keep the jobs here.
Places, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, he was like, but he was like, look, I love it here. I want to keep the jobs here. I think it's important to California. CNN, we're going to basically just pivot it back to center.
They don't want that. They want their own, established mouthpiece. Something that's been established, trusted news, and that they just want to use it as a place to put their own opinions and make it their own bullshit box.
Yes. And what they're going to do is they're going to wind up basically triggering what they're afraid of. It's going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy because he is going to pull the company out of California because California is making it very clear they're not going to play ball.
Well, you think they would have learned after the self-fulfilling prophecy of the strikes.
You would think, but they don't.
Like the whole reason you guys were supposed to be demanding this stuff was to make sure that everybody kept their jobs because you knew it was going to contract. And then you just gave them reasons to contract it. And you just cut your own jobs. You're literally slicing your own throats and then cheering about the people that are giving you the knives to do it. I don't know what to tell you. This is like peak idiocy. I mean, you don't have to like him, but the other option is a lot worse. I mean, it was Netflix. You didn't like that one either. But you're probably gonna be more okay with that because he leans your way. But just the whole idea of pivoting something back to center, is this traumatizing for you? That you're willing to slice your throats on this stuff, and it's like not even true. Like, you guys are going to literally kneecap yourselves trying to stop this and cause your own demise over it.
Yep, absolutely. So grab popcorn. That's going to be more exciting than a lot of the movies that have been put out lately.
Well, they're going to cut. He's like, we have all these things greenlit. Well, they're going to have to start cutting stuff, which would have been jobs for you guys.
Yeah,
especially
they're jobs.
In Hollywood, like you said he wanted to do. You literally are just shooting yourselves in the foot. I don't know what else to tell you. I can't. The idiocy hurts. Like, I can't even wrap my head around the thought process here.
It's desperation.
TDS is seriously, TDS
will kill them all, unfortunately.
I'm just like, this is insane.
Yeah.
Gone in a couple years. You know that, right? But Hollywood's going to be gone in a couple years too if you guys keep this stupid stuff up. Gavin Newsom even knows it. Newsom's a dumbass, and he even knows it.
Newsom's like, we can't win this one, and we're going to make it worse for us.
It's going to hurt ourselves. Where am I going to get the tax money to launder through my nonprofits that me and my family own?
How am I going to get elected in 2028 if it's over. Just let him have it, because you're not going to stop him from having it. And if you try to stop him from having it, you're not going to have anything. So good luck with that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we're going to wrap it up.
Yep.
Please subscribe. We'll talk later.
Bye.